up, everyone? Welcome back to Horror Report, where you get all the horror movie and gaming news and everything between. I'm your host, Kyle Curtis Flet. Today I'm going to discuss what am I most excited for Halloween the game. This is definitely a dream come true because I would never ever thought I would see one of my favorite movies of the 70s, Halloween from 1978, directed by John Carpenter, is getting its own game on September 8th. And for anyone who would pre-order deluxe edition, we'll get it early access on September 4th. And this warms my heart. This means a lot to me because that's one of my all-time favorite greatest films. I got huge history with the franchise, and see it in video game form, see it get its own game. And Halloween the game has done for the license of all any other game has ever done for Halloween. This is definitely a huge treat for us Halloween fans. One of the most things I'm excited for is that, you get to see Haddonfield in video game form, because this is, developed and published by Elphonic, co-published by Gun Interactive. To see Haddonfield in video game form and make it look like exactly how it was in that original film, and to get to walk down the neighborhood, even if you're a survivor or you're Michael, that is going to be one of the most precious memories in video game history for horror, because I never thought we would get Halloween the game, but Friday the Game opened the door for that. That started the trend. Friday the Game came out and created some of the most memories ever, and then the trend continued from there. You got Predator Hunting Grounds, Evil Dead the game for Evil Dead fans. You got Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You got Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's just and such. It's been because I never thought I would, like I said, I would never thought I would see my favorite horror movies in video games, because there was a time we never had our favorite horror movies in video games. Yes, we had adaptions, like we had other games of them, for NES and all the retro consoles, but we never had video games like this, like proper adaptation, proper made, proper care, proper passion for these horror films. And like I said, I want to thank Friday the 13th the game for continuing that trend. Because of that, we're getting Halloween the game on September 8th, and of course, early access for the people who got deluxe on September 4th. And to see this Michael Myers mask, that Michael Myers gets his own video game, and see this mask in video game form, like proper his own game is what I mean, his own game, is very cool, because it all started, creating the mask, from a Don Post Captain Kirk 1975 mask, and to see it in video game form, and to see him move like how Nick Castle did, the way Myers did, the way Nick Castle did in the original film, is very special. Another thing I'm excited for is for the legacy characters. The legacy characters we're getting. Yes, we did not get any Survivor, characters in Texas Chainsaw. And yes, Killer Clowns had brought in a few people. And yes, we had, a lot of the legacy characters in Evil Dead the game. We had legacy characters, but we haven't had this most precious legacy characters since Friday the 13th the game. And to see Laurie, to see Bob, to see Annie, to see Linda in video game form, reimaged for the video game, is very, very cool. Even though it's not the actors who portray them from the roots, it's still those characters. It's still Laurie, it's still Bob, it's still Annie, it's still, those characters those beloved characters from the original film. And you not only get to play them in the single player mode, but you also get to play them in the multiplayer mode. And then there's going to be 10 playable characters at launch, the most I ever seen at launch in a very, very long time for any ASIM single player game, and to see those characters in video game is one of the most important. And to see Dr. Loomis in video game form, because Don Pleasance, if he was alive today, he would be so proud to see that in a video game. See his character, see himself in a video game. And that is the most accurate Dr. Loomis I ever, most accurate. And they made him most accurate ever did. And it's gonna be some cool memories for all of us, the players that are gonna play it, to hear everyone say, I shot him 6 times. I shot him 6 times. I shot him in the heart. This man, he's not human. and also go, this six spies, Sheriff. That's what I seen. Between here and Richmond, a filling station in flames. I tell you, Michael Myers here in this town. To hear that killer liquor and everyone who gets in his way. To see him running around, and he is hauling ass in that game. If you've seen all the people that played the demo at PAX, he's it is one of the most cool moments ever. He was hauling ass. And you get to drive a bike in the game. You get to drive a car in the game. You get to even smoke weed if you want and just drink beer. And to hear John Carpenter's music in video game is going to be cool too. Do you hear that music? Dun 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 dun, and then dun 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 dun. That music in the game is very cool. And I'm so excited for the single player mode, because single player mode teaches you how to play Michael, but you also get to relive the whole entire 1978 film from a totally different perspective, from Michael's perspective, how he broke out, how he got the coveralls, you know, and this how he got to Rabbit in Red. You see from his perspective, see other stuff you did not see in the film that do it, and even see how he's driving the car from his perspective. Because if you've seen in the single player mode, it looks very cool, and that's one of the most cool moments ever. And get to relive, the original film in a totally different perspective. And you also get to, do challenges to unlock other iconic looks for the characters. And yes, like I said, there's 10 playable characters at launch to choose from. And like I said, I'm excited this is a single player multiplayer, and it is very special treat for us Halloween fans, and then I'm excited for the other surprises. Like, this is gonna be a fun game. There have been definitely been looking for the fans and definitely get the ASM multiplayer genre back on track. And I think this is the first step in the right direction, you know, and they're learning what to do and what not to do, and how to handle a license properly, and to have, Compass and Compass, Trancus involved, Malik, Ryan Freeman, and everybody, you know, who love this franchise, own the franchise, involved as well, to make sure that we make sure that Halloween lasts for a very long time, as much as it can. And and like I said, this is going to be a very, very special game, and I'm really excited for what else they have in store, because there's going to be more surprises, and who knows what other characters can we get shared, but what other characters, and it'll be cool if we get Halloween 2 lights, because it was technically set on the technically set on the same night of 1978, so they can definitely get Halloween 2 in here, and see the hospital, and and get that type of mask in there if they could, and really honor the legacy of Halloween and how in a video game. It's gonna be very cool to share with all you to play with it with all my friends and with all my YouTube friends from YouTube, and anyone's that I'm friends with, to share with and then to get to know other Halloween fans. It's gonna be like how everyone did in Friday the 13th the game, how everyone just bonded and created a community. People got married, people were getting relationships, friendships that you still have. And it's gonna be a very special time. And when it releases for early access on September 4th, and anyone who didn't will be on September 8th. September is gonna be a special time, and that is a cool, cool, cool way, because everyone's titled to one good scare. So it's gonna be a fun time to create some memories and moments. And another thing I'm excited for is the shape jump. Because Michaels doesn't come in and run. He stalks his character. He stalks his prey. He waits. Because look in Halloween 2 when Laurie was walking on the pavement, and then he appears on the red light. He's like, "I got you, bitch," and 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 then to hear that Carpenter sting, I would love to hear the Carpenter sting when he appears, and to honor that as well is very, very cool. The honor, what John, Deborah, and everyone involved in the original film in video game form. It's very cool, and and give us, because we get to get us, because when the age 50 comes around, This will be the first time the convention that people get to talk about the video game as well, because all the other conventions, there was never a video game around those conventions. So when H50 comes around in a few years, in 2028, I believe, it will be very special. And I know people will be, getting the guests, to sign that and talk about the video game and talk about with other fans and other things. So like I said, Halloween the game it's going to be a blast. And to see what else they got in store for this game is going to be very cool. So, all right, guys, I'm just gonna upload. Let me know in the comments what you're so hyped about the Halloween game. Let's start that discussion. I'll be back tomorrow. This Friday, I'll be doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre live stream, and then I'll be, like I said, there'll be interviews, reviews, rankings. And this is gonna be start fresh and get back on track. So it's gonna be it's gonna be a time. I got a lot of plans for the new channel. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good night. Cheers, everyone. Bye. Cheers, everyone.